Hi guys, welcome to another video. I know you all said this is a video that you never thought you would see on my channel, but we have made it finally. This is my friend Kimi, and Kimi asked me to do her makeup because she was going to a wedding, so I had to do her makeup. I am cleaning up her eyebrows. As you can see, Kimi likes her eyebrows to be really thin. She's always liked her eyebrows that way. I've known her for over 10 years, and since I've known her, she's always liked her eyebrows to be really thin. They're long, as you can see where the tail end of her eyebrows are, like they're very long. Me, I have no tail, right? So I'm just brushing it up with some of my ABH brow freeze to put them in place. And that's the one thing I'm learning about makeup is if a client likes something, thin eyebrows, thick eyebrows, you should always give them what they like versus what you think looks good on them. So I'm learning that. I'm not a thin eyebrow person, but she is, and that's all that matters. I'm taking some of my e.l.f. Cookies and Dream primer, and I also use the MAC Refined Zone primer. Since she was going to a wedding and was going to be there like a really long time, I needed two primers to make sure that her foundation and makeup last. Uh, Kimi's not a makeup person. She doesn't do makeup. She doesn't wear makeup or anything. So I try to be as light-handed as possible and to not make her look made up. Because, if you're not used to makeup and wearing makeup, like a face full of makeup will really shock you and take you, make you think that you don't look right because you're not used to wearing makeup. So I try to be really light-handed with everything. So here I am just putting the MAC Refined Zone primer, basically trying to stay in her T-zone with it. And if Kimi's looking down because she is putting on press-on nails. She's putting on press-on nails and she had the hardest time. This look took me about an hour, and the whole time I did her makeup, she was putting on those nails. So those nails were wearing her out. I used my MAC Camel Orange Concealer, the color corrector, and just went around her mouth with it to cancel any hyperpigmentation, discoloration, or anything she might have. She doesn't have a lot, but I didn't want her foundation to be gray around the mouth area. And I don't know why she was pouting her lips. I was like, I'm not doing your lips. Why are you pouting your lips? Please stop. So yeah, so we basically talked the whole time. I probably would have got done a lot faster had she not been putting on nails and had I not been talking to her. So I'm taking my Ruby Kisses, what is this, dark brown eyebrow pencil to fill in her eyebrows, still keeping them thin, just kind of like trying to fill in any sparse areas that she might have had, but still keeping them thin because that's what she like. And you like what you like. Like you can't make anyone like something they don't. So yeah, I took the Neutrogena concealer, the Natural Radiant Concealer by Neutrogena, and that's what I use to clean up her eyebrows with. And what is that shade? I wonder if it's on my desk right now, which it should be, but of course, oh yeah, it is. This was the shade Golden, and I've had this in my stash for a while, and I was looking for it because I knew I had three. I knew I had one called Mocha and another one, and then I finally found Golden. This is some really good drugstore concealer. Of course, it's like, I think like $12.99 or something, but it's worth the $12.99. I really enjoy that concealer. So yeah, I'm filling in her other eyebrow, just still trying to keep it thin. But this is by no means a makeup tutorial. I'm just showing y'all how I did my friend's makeup for a wedding. And she's that type of friend that she was persistent. She was like, you gonna do my makeup every day? And I would tell her no. I said, no, I got plans, which she know I didn't have any plans. She was like, what are you doing? I told her I was going to be sleeping. She was like, I can go to sleep after I finish her makeup. Like, she was determined for me to do her makeup. And I like that. I appreciate that. Someone who pushes you to do things they know that you like to do. Like, she know I love to do makeup. So she was like, you need to get up and do my makeup. And as you can see, that concealer cleaned up her eyebrows really, really nice. I'm going to use my concealer tomorrow when I get ready to go to work because I'm happy I found this concealer. Matter of fact, I need to look on Amazon because Amazon probably has it for a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I love this concealer. So I'm just taking a random Amazon brush, to clean it up. And yeah. And I also based her eyelids with the same concealer. For eyeshadow, because she is not a, makeup person, I wanted to stay pretty neutral with it, just give her something that she felt comfortable with, but with a little pizzazz to it, not too much. Well, she was afraid. Yeah, so I used my Juvia's Place, the Warriors palette. Is that number two? Yeah, the Warriors are number two. And I used two shades from there. I think I actually showed you all what shades I was using in there. And I think one is like the red shade and one was the dark brown shade. So that's the shade I used on her eyelids. Something, to where she wasn't afraid that she had on too much makeup. And that's just an e.l.f. concealer brush that I picked up from when e.l.f. was having a sale. Yeah, it's called a Flawless Concealer Brush. And it's a really fluffy, kind of full brush. And it blends out the concealer really, really nicely. That's me with those eyebrows. I want to make sure. She got an arch now. One thing about it, she had her arch on. I was determined to keep them in place. Because eyebrows can make or break your whole look. So yeah, that's the Warriors 2 palette. So those are the two shades I use, that red and that brown shade. Mix those two together, and I basically put that all over her lid in her transition area. I put that everywhere. One thing I can say about Kimi, like I said, I've known Kimi for over 10 years. She's a really sweet, caring person. You ever met a person in your lifetime and they're just so sweet, so nice, so kind? She's that type of person. And when Kimi asked me to do something, I don't mind doing it because she is a really, really good friend. Really, really good friend. Sickening. But she's a great friend. She's a great friend. So yeah, I'm just blending it on her eyelids, in her crease, and on the lids, and just trying to make sure I just keep blending, blending, blending. I just blend my little heart away with this one. Yeah, and I like, because that brown kind of orange shadow look is really, really popular now. Like, everyone is wearing it. I guess because it's a simple but a soft glam. I guess you can call it like soft glam kind of look. And Kimi's dress was going to be blue, so I really didn't want to do too much. So here I have already lined her lids, and I am putting on a Stila. What is this called? A liquid eyeshadow, a glitter and glow liquid eyeshadow, and it is in the shade Kitten Karma, something I picked up from Marshall's at TJ Maxx for $6.99. So I figured that I can like put that in the middle of her eyelids, just to give her a little bit pop so it didn't look all the way flat. She didn't care what I did as long as I did her makeup. She didn't care at all. As you can see, she's looking down still trying to put on those nails. And Kimi was putting on those nails for the entire hour that I did her makeup. And then she was like, well, I don't have one for this finger. And I'm like, well, what number is it? She's like, they got numbers? I'm like, yeah. She was like, I didn't know. So now I have to remind myself to call her and ask her, if you didn't know they had numbers, how were you putting on the nails? Were you just looking at them and thinking they look like the same size. Like, how did you put on your nails? Because you didn't know they had numbers and they actually matched up with each other. She's crazy. So I'm going back with the dark brown shade just to deepen the outer V part. Not really a whole lot, you know, just a little bit to give it a little bit of depth. The eyelashes she used, and I threw it away, but it's some new Kiss eyelashes that are out now. And I actually told her next time she go to the beauty supply store to pick me up some. But those are pretty. They're not, I wouldn't give it like 25 millimeters, but for me, they're perfect for me. So from foundation, I tried on her my Studio Sculpt in NC50, and then I tried the Lancome in 495, the Tint Idole. So I ended up going with the Lancome Tint Idole because that was kind of like more uh, her shade, her undertone or whatever. So I'm using a random brush to apply it and also clean up the top of the brows. Wow. For this to be my first time doing makeup, I had the hardest client to work with because she was looking down, looking around, looking every which way but where I needed her to look, but that was okay. I don't mind. We finished it. We got the look done. She didn't care. She didn't even look in the mirror. She didn't know what I was doing with her face. I could have been painting her face purple, yellow, and green. She had no clue and she did not care. So yeah, I'm just patting it in with my Shop Miss A brush, which the foundation ended up matching her well because she did not come with her foundation. So I'm like, how do you know that me and you are the same shade? She was like, I don't know, just make something work. So that's what we had to do. We had to make something work. I'm like, I'm not a makeup artist. I just don't have a random shades of foundation and random shades of concealer that are way outside of my shade just laying around. I don't have a makeup kit. She was like, yeah, you have a makeup kit. You just need to organize it, but you have a makeup kit. So yeah, I'm just applying it. It's something about the Lancome foundation that is beautiful, very skin-like, very natural. And once again, I wanted to give her something that was natural, wasn't too much. I think that Stila, now looking at the playback, I think that Stila actually gave the look, you know, just a little bit of something extra, a little bit of jazz to it, you know. So if you were ever like want a matte look and then you decide, nah, I want to do a little something, you can always put a glitter topper like right in the center and it'll wake the look up some. So I was spraying the NYX spray because I didn't want the foundation to dry, and I tried not to go like directly underneath her eyes because I knew that I was going in with concealer and I didn't want it to be like foundation then concealer and it'd be all cakey and all of that. So I went in with the same Neutrogena concealer in deep golden to highlight with. So that's what we use today for highlight. I think I use, oh, and a spot of golden tan, my Essence Keep Me Covered concealer. I went in with a little bit in the inner part of her eye just to give her, you know, just a little bit of extra highlight. And I'm using one of my, I started off with a Shop Miss A brush, and I was like, no. It was really, really fluffy, but kind of hard. I'm like, nah, I don't like that. So I eventually switched to one of my Cara Beauty sponges to blend it out. And the concealer and everything blends really well on top of this foundation. You know, I can mix a high end with a drugstore, with the beauty supply store. I don't care. I'm not particular on where the product comes from, how much the product costs. As long as the product does what it says it's going to do and it has my makeup looking right, then I'm all here for it. I have no complaints with the product. So that's my Cara Beauty sponge. Yeah, because I'm like, oh no, I need a softer sponge because that is not getting it. So yeah, I'm blending out her foundation, you know, making sure I got all the, there's no streaks or any of that. And I use my Thread Beauty contour stick to contour her face and her big forehead. Just a little bit, and I blend it out with another Cara Beauty sponge. But we just laughing the whole time. We just laughing and talk the whole time. And as you can see, Kimi never looked at the camera because she's shy. She's really, really shy. So I guess that's kind of like why we get along so much, because I'm shy also. You wouldn't know it by me doing these YouTube videos and talking to you all. But of course, I'm just in a room by myself with a camera and a light. Like, it's nobody here. But like, if it was like 12 of y'all sitting in front of me wanting me to talk and do makeup, I probably would pass out. I'm the true meaning of an introvert. You hear me? A true meaning of it. So yeah, I just blend out the contour, and that contour blended quite well into her skin. And then I went in with my Morphe Bacon Set loose setting powder in Rich Banana. That's what I used to set her concealer in highlighted areas. I could tell you, when I was putting on those lashes, though, she was like, "Oh, girl, you poking me in my eye." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't know that was your eye." She was like, "Oh my gosh." So lashes, their own right, but I need to practice on clients, because I gotta get a judgment of where their eyeball is and where my tweezers are, because I was poking poor Kimi. But I'm taking the dark brown shade from the palette and smoking out her lower lash line while the setting powder is there, so that if it did have any fallout, I was gonna be okay. I didn't have to worry about, messing up her foundation or her concealer or anything. So yeah, I'm telling her to look. When I told Kimmy to look up, I said look up. She would put her whole head up. I'm like, no, you don't have to move your head, but you need to look up. I'm taking the Juvia'splace bronzer duo in dark, and I use the darkest shade to give her face some shape and dimension and contour it just a little bit, just a little bit. Give her little cheekbones, little cheekbone. And Juvia'splace blush. Let me find out, because I know I have it around here. What shade is this? Is volume number 6, and I used the orange shade as blush because I didn't want to not do a pink or a berry or any of that, because her makeup needed to be quite simple for her to feel comfortable. She was like, "What is that? White stuff underneath my nose." See it right there? She's like, "What's that white stuff underneath my nose?" I was like, "Just hush. It's setting your concealer." She was like, "Well, you gonna wipe it off?" I was like, "Yeah, Kimi, I'm gonna wipe it off eventually. You're not gonna walk out of here with all white stuff underneath your nose." So I'm taking the cream shade in the Juvia'splace, the Chocolates palette. It was a matte shade, and I thought that would be like a little better to give her inner highlight, just a little bit, to her eye, to open her eyes up. Sticking the same Juvia's and slightly contouring the nose and blend it into the eyeshadow, so the eyeshadow didn't just start and stop. It actually had a smooth transition. I kept pulling her head up like, "Girl, come on," because I was ready to go to sleep, and she knew it. She was hungry, I was sleepy, and I needed to go to the store after I finished her makeup. I'm taking the KVD powder in Deep 205 to set the remainder of her face and to dust away any powder or anything. And to get rid of the powder that was underneath her nose so she can calm down. Calm down. Spraying again. I do sprays in between certain applications. This is and I'm glad I found this. I was finding like all my makeup when I was looking for makeup to do for Kimi. It's a Jaclyn Hill lip liner, and I want to say it's in woodland something. I don't know the name of it, but it's in something. But I'm so happy because I was looking like all over for it, and it was actually in my eyeliner area. And I found it. I'm like, dog, I was looking all over for this Jaclyn Hill lip liner. She makes some really good lip liners. As you see that brown on that lip liner? It's pigmented and rich and everything. So I went in with a Sephora cream lipstick in 01. They don't sell this anymore, but I've had it forever, and it's a good neutral shade, especially I feel like for my dark skin girls like myself. And yeah, and I'm just getting her to lightly pat her lips together, because I was like, do it lightly. And I'm glad I said that in the beginning, because she was getting ready to go all in. When I said blot your lips together, she was getting ready to just rub them all the way together. I was like, lightly. And I'm just taking a brush to blend out the liner so the liner isn't harsh or any of that. I think I went in with a gloss. Did I go in with a gloss too? I think I did. I don't know. We'll see in a minute. A clear gloss. It was just a NYX clear gloss, because she liked glossy lips. So I wanted to give her what she wanted. She liked glossy lips. So yeah. Alright guys, so I am back. This is my friend Kimi, and as you can see, I did her makeup. This is not a professional look. This is a Nana look, as you can see. And I think it came out really, really nice and natural. She's not a makeup girl, so she doesn't wear makeup often. So I wanted to keep the look very simple, something that she felt comfortable wearing. And I think we did good. How do you like it? You stupid. I'm keeping this in too, because you stupid. If you fall out this chair, I know something. How do you like it?
I love it.
You're too stupid. All right, guys, this is the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. And
Bye,
I'm gonna put
guys.
a picture in. Shut up. That's what I be saying. I'll put a picture in so y'all can see. Bye, guys.
Girl, don't ever do that.